What's up, horror community? I'm Stock, and today's video, we're going to be talking about a new age horror icon. In my eyes, this character ticks every single box, in my opinion, of being a new horror icon. And I can't say that for a lot of new horror movies. I think a lot of the time you can't replicate the magic of the most iconic slashers in history. But I think this guy does it, and that is Art the Clown from Terrifier. I have to talk about his look, his unique look of being a clown. So obviously there's horror clowns. Like you have your iconic horror clowns like Pennywise, both different versions of them, killer clowns from outer space. They always have this distinct look of being a horror clown. What Art the Clown has is different, in my opinion. The black and white look, it's very, very different than most. In my opinion, it's one of the creepiest looking horror characters I've ever seen. When I first saw Terrifier for the first time in 2016, I was like legitly creeped out when I first saw it. I was actually like checking my back and stuff, and I was like, whoa, like I was like on edge after I saw it for the first time, and I was like, Jesus, this guy is creepy as hell. I just think everything is just a vital piece to his attire that brings him to that creepy level, like the teeth, the top hat, the baggy clothes and all that kind of stuff. It all, the gloves with his fingers, his bloody fingers, and just everything adds to it. But also what makes him so creepy, what makes him so different, is the mannerisms he does throughout the movie and throughout the two films in Terrifier, which I'm basing this off of. I'm not talking about All Hallows Eve because I actually haven't seen that, and that was a different actor. But I'm talking about Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton's portrayal, and what he brings to Art the Clown is so good on so many levels. He literally doesn't speak. This character doesn't speak, but he communicates, and you know what he's saying just by what he does, just by his smiles, by his waves, by the way he moves, just everything. And everything adds to why he's so different to me and why he stands out, and just why I could throw on that modern day icon. That all these reasons combined are big parts. Also, we gotta talk about the kills. The kills that this guy brings are so brutal on so many levels, and I personally am not the biggest fan of gory horror movies. It's not really my forte. It's not what I go to with horror, but when it's him, it's different. When it's Art the Clown serving out these insane kills, I am all about it. And it's not even just that. It's not even just the visuals of what he does, but it's all of his weapons, all of the stuff he has in his arsenal is another thing that separates him from other horror characters. Like he goes around holding this black bag on the garbage bag, and it's just filled with weapons, filled with so many different gadgets. I can't even explain all of them, but one of my favorites is the fact that this guy pulls out a gun. Like, he literally uses a gun too. Like, how many slashers do you see use a gun? And I absolutely love that. It's from a scene in the first one when he's fighting the final girl who we thought was in the original film, and she has the upper hand on him, and he's hurt, and he turns around and just sticks up a gun and shoots her, and then he goes on to reload the gun and shoot her another like 5 or so times. And it's just stuff like that. It's stuff like that that separates him. I also have to talk about the hacksaw, another great weapon he has in his arsenal. But this kill itself in the first Terrifier from 2016 is one of the best horror kills I've ever seen. And even though it's newer, I could already say that it's a history-making kill for horror, because just the visual of it and the way he brought up to that kill. But what he did when he sawed her down the middle with her friend watching her, and he's putting on a show, he's being a clown, he's entertaining the fan, and just that gruesome kill, like the way they use the effects, the way everyone worked on that film and made those effects, especially with how low of a budget it was. Holy crap. I remember when I saw Terrifier the first time, like that kill itself is like, Jesus, like this movie is different. This is different than modern horror movies. This one stands out from everything else. I also really like the mystery behind Art the Clown, especially in the first film. You don't know anything. There's really no story in the first movie, and that really adds to that one for me. Kind of goes back to like almost like Halloween 1 with Michael Myers, and he was kind of a mystery in a lot of ways, but Art's even a bigger mystery in Terrifier 1. It just starts and there's just killings happening. He's just doing killings. Like, you don't know who he is. He's just this random bizarre killer, and he's just got no motive, especially in the first one. And I love that. In the second movie, you see more elements of story, which worked really well for the second movie. But at the end of the day, in the second one, you still have no idea who or what this thing even is, because he's also supernatural. All the pain he's taken and the shots to his face and just all of the things they've done to him, especially in the second movie, they cut his head off and he's still alive. So I don't even know what he is. Like, he's clearly not a human. He's got to be some type of force, but you still don't even know that, and I love that too. I also really love the music they use in each movie, and I love the quietness they do in both movies as well. Like, certain shots really add to him, really add to Art the Clown. Like when he makes a big smile or something and he's staring at like one of like the good people, and he's like staring at them, he's just doing that creepy smile, and it's just dead silence. All of that adds to him and his character. The actor who portrays Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, he really deserves so much credit, and I'm happy to see that he's getting a lot more credit with the second movie and all the success of Terrifier 2. But he deserved this crazy credit from the first movie itself. Just the fact, and I know I touched on it earlier, but just the fact of what story and what he could tell with this character with zero verbal word, like with zero, he's not saying a word, but he portrays such a strong horror villain. It's incredible. It's incredible. I don't even have the words for it. I don't think anyone could play it the way he does. I don't think anyone else could be Art the Clown. I think there's just one man for it. And if they ever switched that, if they ever took away David Howard Thornton of playing Art, I think you completely would lose the magic of him, because there's just no one who could bring this unique feel to him. Well, guys, those are my reasons to why I feel like Art the Clown is a modern day horror icon. That's the reason why I think he's separated from all the newer horror films and horror characters they introduce in today's world. For example, I think a lot of them just aren't horror icons. Like, for example, I'll reference the Black Phone and the Grabber. People think that they throw like horror icon on him, like modern horror icon. To me, not at all. But Art the Clown, definitely. You can't get what this guy brings. You can't get it from anyone else except him. He's one of a kind in horror. He's a one of a kind clown, and I know there's so many horror clowns, but this one is different. And I'm so happy I was introduced to Terrifier. I was actually introduced to it from Pooh, the other half of Horror 31st. He introduced it to me a few years back, and he was high on it from then, before a lot of people got on the board of this movie. And when he showed me it, I immediately was a fan of it too. And leading up to this year and seeing Terrifier 2 and seeing the success and to seeing the growth in the horror community and all that stuff and everyone talking about it, it's been a joy, it's been awesome, and it's so earned. If you guys haven't seen Terrifier, if you don't know Art the Clown and you haven't seen Terrifier 1 or 2, I highly recommend it. I know it is a movie series of 2 movies that aren't for everyone. I get it, because it's so gruesome. You have to know that. Like, the kills are insane, but I'm not a gore fan either, like a crazy gore fan either. But I'm telling you, it's what he does. It's what this character is like that makes me enjoy the hell out of every time he does something so nuts with so much blood and guts and everything. It doesn't even matter to me because he's doing it, and I love every second of it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this. This was fun to talk about Art the Clown. There's gonna be a lot more Terrifier videos, because this is Pooh's favorite horror icon of all time, and this is my favorite modern day horror icon ever. I can't say of all time, because I got my favorites. Halloween and Scream are my top 2 horror franchises forever, but I definitely appreciate Pooh's take on this, because this guy is insane and different than a lot. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Horror 31st out.